After only 6 weeks on the job, Liz Truss, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, has resigned.
Given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
I think it was expected that Liz Truss was going to be leaving Downing Street. What most of us didn't expect was what happened to Suella Braverman.
Overall, we need to get net migration down. And that is my unfiltered, unvarnished, unapologetic view. Overall migration, net migration, however you want to call it, needs to come down.
A few moments later.
At best, if she was going to be leaving her office as Home Secretary, it will probably be coming as a reshuffling of the cabinet due to the new incoming Prime Minister. However, through happenstance, or what will I call this? It is what we Yorubas call AD. It was found out that she sent a government email through her personal email, and guess what she was asking for? She was actually trying to gather support for immigration matters. Now, if you do not believe in jazz, you might want to change your mind on that. Anyway, this video is not about gloating. What is interesting is that she was really moving fast. In fact, changes have already occurred on the immigration website. That and what to expect from the resignation of the Home Secretary and the PM of the United Kingdom is what we're going to be discussing today. However, if you haven't subscribed, you might want to click on the subscribe button now so you get notified when we drop videos like this in the future. And while at that, click on the notification button so you get notified every time that video drops. Without much ado, let's get into it. As I made mention in my last video, with a change of government, you're going to be expecting changing ideologies, and though it might not necessarily be way off what you expect from the Conservative, as they still have a majority in the House of Parliament, it is obvious that most of the policies by Suella Braverman wasn't necessarily supported by everyone in the House. So, what will the new incoming government do? Now, Grant Shapps, who is the new incoming Home Secretary, was previously the Secretary of State for Transport in the Johnson's government, and as you may know, Boris Johnson was the one who brought back the 2-year post-study work visa after the cancellation by Theresa May. Also, it looks like Grant Shapps was not necessarily a fan of Theresa May. In October 2017, Shapps called for Theresa May's resignation, saying that the party could not bury its head in the sand. In the wake of the June election, Shapps said that 30 MPs and 1 or 2 cabinet ministers agreed with him that Theresa May should resign. 2 years after that, Theresa May resigned. Now, what does it say about his immigration policies? We don't know much about it, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that because these are the people who would make decisions that might affect your immigration process. Another interesting but strange fact is that one of those that are being proposed to replace Liz Truss is Boris Johnson. As you may know already, the government of Boris Johnson reintroduced the 2-year post-study work visa. And what you would expect is that if Boris Johnson is brought back into office, it might just be business as usual. Another front runner is Rishi Sunak. We will see who is going to be the number 1 man in number 10. But for now, let's look at the changes that were made recently. So the first change is extending the seasonal worker route to include poultry sectors. The seasonal worker route is being expanded to include roles in the poultry production sector for the period of October 18 to December 31st. This is to support the sector during a peak seasonal demand period in the run-up to Christmas. This expansion will set specific salary requirements for poultry workers, ensuring that for the role that would qualify for the skilled worker route, wages for workers in such roles are not less than they will be required to be paid under that route. If you're finding this information helpful and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and if you haven't liked this video yet, smash the like button. It helps this channel and also helps this video get to those who might need this information. Now let's get back to the video. The next is abolition of the police registration scheme. Immigration Act 1971 provides a grant of leave to enter or remain to be subject to a condition to register with the police within 7 days of arriving in the UK. This requirement to register with police is provided for in the immigration rules. However, the scheme has not changed for many years, and the same data collected by the police is now already captured electronically by the Home Office at the visa application stage. Changes to the immigration rules and wider immigration system since the scheme was introduced mean that more individuals are screened before traveling to the UK, so those of concern can be identified earlier in their interactions with the Home Office. There is therefore little need for the police to collect the same data after a person has already entered the UK. And then there's the changes to the creative worker route. An amendment is being made to remove the ability for those on standard visitor and permitted paid engagement routes to switch into the temporary work creative worker route, as this is incompatible with the requirements of the visitor route. Updates are being made to the appendix creative worker codes. And then there's changes to visit policy to facilitate visit from midwifery students and sport officials. Changes to endorsement and evidential requirements for the global talent category. Changes to grant non-visa national status to Colombia, Guyana, and Peru, but nothing mentioned about the post-study work visa. So, good news so far, wouldn't you say? Now, as much as I wouldn't want to get into politics, it is very important for you to watch what will be happening in the UK political landscape, especially in the next few days. Especially if you're thinking of immigrating to the United Kingdom, or if you're already in the United Kingdom but yet to get your post-study work visa, as whoever is going to be coming in as a Prime Minister will determine to a large extent what's going to be happening with immigration. However, it is most likely going to be the policies and the vision of the Home Secretary, in this case, Grant Shapps. Whichever way, pay attention so you might be agile enough to make the right decision for yourself or your family. And that's why you should subscribe and click on the notification button so you get notified every time we update you with information like this. Now, if you found this information helpful, please like and share with whoever you think might need this information. Until the next time, remember, it is the Deliberate Expert, and have a beautiful day.